Have you ever sat in the quiet and realized that even though everything around you looks fine, something inside still feels empty? You go through your daily routines, you talk to people, you laugh at the right moments, but when the noise fades and you are finally alone, you can feel it again, that silent space deep in your heart that no one else sees. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is simply a quiet void, a place that feels unfinished, a longing that has no words. Sometimes you shrug it off. Sometimes you tell yourself, I'll be fine, I just need to rest. And yet even after resting, even after sleeping, the emptiness is still there. You try to fill it with good things. You keep yourself busy. You accomplish tasks. You scroll through your phone, hoping that something, anything, will speak to that place inside of you. But nothing does. Nothing truly satisfies. And maybe there are moments when you whisper, Lord, what is this emptiness? Why does it still ache when I know you are good? When I know you have blessed me? When I know I should? Be grateful? Do not feel guilty for asking that question. Do not feel ashamed for feeling empty, because sometimes your heart is not asking for more blessings. Sometimes your heart is simply asking for His presence. There is a difference. Blessings can make life easier, but only His presence can make life meaningful. Blessings can fill your hands, but only His presence can fill your soul. That is why even when everything seems to be going well, your heart can still feel thirsty, because it was created to be filled by God Himself. There are places in your soul that no person, no achievement, no comfort, and no distraction can reach. Only God can reach them. Only His love can fill them. So if you are feeling empty today, don't run away from it. Don't cover it with noise. Don't numb it with activity. Instead, let that emptiness become an invitation. Let it become a place where God can meet you. Sometimes He allows us to feel the emptiness so that we can finally recognize how much we need Him. Sometimes He allows space in our hearts so that He can fill it with Himself. Take a deep breath right now. Close your eyes for a moment if you need to, and let your heart pray quietly. Lord, I bring you the empty places in me, the quiet parts of my soul that I rarely speak about, the places where I still feel lonely, where I still feel weak, where I still feel unfinished. I bring them to you because I know that only you can fill them with your presence. You see, the empty place is not your enemy. It is the place where real intimacy with God can begin. It is where the superficial fades away and the sincere is born. It is where you discover that God is not far. He has been waiting for you to open that door. So don't be afraid of silence. Don't fear the moments when everything else grows quiet, for it is often in the quiet that God speaks most clearly. It is often in the stillness that His gentle presence begins to surround you. Maybe you remember a time when His presence felt so real, you could almost feel Him next to you. Maybe you remember a season when worship brought tears to your eyes and His word felt alive. And now you wonder, why does it feel different? Did I change? Did He move away? No, He hasn't moved. He hasn't changed. But sometimes our hearts become tired, and in that tiredness we lose our sensitivity to His presence. It doesn't mean we've failed. It doesn't mean He's angry. It simply means it's time to return, to come back, not to religion, not to pressure, but to Him. So come back, even if you feel nothing at first, even if all you can do is sit quietly and whisper, Lord, I am here. He hears that whisper, He sees the sincerity, and He comes close. You do not need perfect words. You do not need to force emotions. What He desires most is an honest heart, a heart that says, I need you. I can't fill this empty place by myself. Please, fill it with your presence. And He will, because that is who He is. A Father who never turns away His children, a shepherd who never abandons His sheep, a Savior who never ignores those who call on His name. So let this moment be the beginning. Let this be the moment when the empty place becomes holy ground. not a place of despair, but a place of encounter, a place where His presence will come like gentle rain over dry soil, a place where His love will begin to heal what no one else could heal. Never believe the lie that the emptiness means God is gone. Sometimes the emptiness is the sign that He is drawing you closer than ever. Sometimes we try to fill the empty place with people, hoping their attention will make us feel whole again, and for a moment, it might help. But eventually, even the most loving person cannot reach that hidden part of our heart, because it was never made for people to fill. It was made for God. Sometimes we try to fill the empty place with success, thinking that if we accomplish enough, achieve enough, or become impressive in the eyes of others, the emptiness will disappear. But even when we succeed, late at night, the heart still remembers that there is more to life than applause. Sometimes we try to fill the empty place with control, trying to keep everything in order so that the chaos inside won't spill out. But control eventually turns to exhaustion, and even if everything around us looks fine, the soul still longs to rest. That is why God, in His mercy, allows us to face the limitation of every earthly thing, not to discourage us, but to remind us of the one thing that never changes, the one place that never runs dry, the one presence that never leaves us empty. And in that moment of realization, something sacred begins to happen. The soul becomes honest again, the heart grows humble again, and all the distractions begin to fade. In those precious moments we start to pray, not with many words but with sincerity. Lord, only You truly know what I need. So I open every door in my heart, fill every empty place with Your love. And when that prayer rises from your lips, His presence begins to draw near. You may not feel it all at once. It may be gentle. It may be subtle at first, but suddenly your breathing becomes softer. Your heart becomes lighter. You realize you are not alone in the room anymore. He is with you. You begin to recognize His comfort, like a quiet hand resting on your shoulder. You sense His peace, like a soft wind moving through your spirit. You realize that the empty place is slowly being filled with something beautiful, with someone holy, and with every passing moment your soul remembers again that God is not distant. He is near, near to the brokenhearted, near to the weary, near to those who long for Him even when they hardly have the strength to say His name. So breathe again. Feel His nearness. Let His presence become a shelter around your heart. Let it fill the empty corridors within you until hope begins to rise again. Let Him remind you that you are still loved, that you are still chosen, that you are still held within the palm of His hand. Your circumstances may not have shifted yet. Your prayers may not have been answered the way you expected, but something much deeper is happening. Your heart is being healed by His presence. This healing may begin quietly, without a dramatic moment. It may simply begin as a gentle assurance that God is truly here, that He has never left, that He knows every tear you cried alone, that He collected each one and kept it as a testimony of His compassion. So instead of asking, "Why do I still feel empty?" begin to ask a different question. Lord, what are You wanting to show me in this empty place? Perhaps He wants to show you that He is still enough. Perhaps He wants to remind you that faith is not just a feeling but a choice to trust Him even when you feel nothing. Perhaps He wants to deepen your love for Him in a way that only emptiness can accomplish. Because faith that has never walked through emptiness may still be sincere, but it is not yet deep. Faith that has never been tested by silence may still be strong, but it has not yet learned how to cling to God when nothing makes sense. But you are now walking through that holy place. And though it is painful, it is also precious, because in this place your faith will grow roots. In this place, you will discover that God is more real than every fear in your mind and every ache in your heart. So stay here with Him. Don't rush out of the silence. Don't hurry the encounter. Let His presence dig deep into the empty place until every hidden fear is uncovered and every lie is washed away by his truth. And as he fills you, you will begin to see life differently. The things that once disappointed you will no longer define you. The voices that once discouraged you will no longer control you, because you will be rooted in something deeper, rooted in the presence of God that satisfies every longing and heals every wound. And when the empty place is finally filled with his presence, you will notice that something changes, not always around you, but within you. You begin to carry peace even in the middle of uncertainty. You begin to walk with gentle confidence even when you do not know the outcome. Because the one who fills your heart is greater than anything that comes against you. In time, you will look back and realize that what once felt like an empty place was actually a sacred place, a place where God met you in ways you had never known before. You will realize that what felt like a silent desert was, in fact, the place where your roots grew deeper, the place where your faith was refined, the place where you stopped depending on feelings and started trusting his character. And then you will know that his presence is not just something that visits you occasionally. It is the very atmosphere in which your soul can live. It is the oxygen of your spirit. It is the river that keeps you from drying up. So even after the emptiness fades and the presence of God becomes your daily companion once again, keep coming back, keep seeking him. Keep opening every part of your heart to him, because the more you let him fill you, the more your life begins to reflect his love to others. The world is full of empty places, empty hearts, empty souls, empty dreams. What if God is filling your emptiness not only to heal you, but to overflow through you into the lives of those who feel just as empty? Maybe the compassion you carry now was born in that empty place. Maybe the tenderness in your voice came from those nights when you cried alone. Maybe God allowed that emptiness so that one day you can be a living testimony that his presence truly heals and satisfies. So lift up your eyes. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with hope, because every empty place that you surrender to him will one day become a place of glory. Let these words be your declaration today. Lord, I invite you into every hidden place of my heart, into every fear and every memory, into every disappointment and every unanswered question. I will no longer fill these spaces with things that cannot satisfy. I will wait for your presence, because only your presence brings life, only your presence brings peace, only your presence is enough. And may the Holy Spirit strengthen you day by day, moment by moment, so that even when life becomes heavy, your heart will always know where to find its rest. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even when you walked through the valley of emptiness, he was walking beside you. Even when you could not feel him, he was holding your hand. And even in this very moment, he is near, closer than your own breath. So keep seeking him, keep trusting him, and let him fill the empty places again and again until every corner of your heart is overflowing with his love. Amen.